Hello, I'm Drake. Welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real metaphysical and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week, we're going to continue our series on the Goetia with the 46th Spirit of the Goetia Bifrons. But before we do, I would encourage you to check us out at workingdragonmystic.com. Over there, you will see a link to our online community as well as our online school. At the online school, we have courses on Dragon Magic 101 and 102. We have a meditation course. We have an evocation course. We even have a course on evocation. And we got more courses coming in the future. So definitely check out our online school if you're interested in these. The Dragon Magic 101 is beginner friendly. I should point that out. As far as the online community, join it up. It's free to jump in there and join. You can sit in there, you can chat with people, share your day, share your experiments, share your spell workings, ask questions. It's the easiest way to get in touch with me. And if you consider supporting the channel and the work we do, it's also the best place to support the channel. You can sign up for the supporter only area where we do giveaways, gives you access to many of the classes in the online school for free as long as you're a supporter. It also gives you access to monthly spell workings and giveaways that we do for supporters only. And all the live workshops that we do, supporters automatically get free access to them at no extra charge. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and get into this. All right. 46th Spirit of the Goetia is Bifrons. I've also heard it pronounced B. I can't even say it. I always pronounce it Bifrons. So Bifrons is how someone else pronounced it. I've always heard it Bifrons, but and I'm now that I think about it, Bifrons and Bfrons was another one I've heard. I always say Bifrons. I don't know if it's my southern twang or what. That's what I say. Um, so there we go. We'll move on with that. Appearance of this one. Okay, we have a new runner-up for worst description of appearance in the Goetia. And it is in the form of a monster. That's it. That's what it says in the Goetia, in the form of a monster. Um, yeah, I don't even know what to say to that because I have sat down and I've discussed this one with a lot of other magicians. And the consensus is the best way that we can phrase this is it is the format is what would be monstrous to you. So all of us have seen this in some category of some other nightmare fuel or something that we would view as monstrous. Now, in some cases, that is very much nightmare fuel. Like for me, definitely clowns and spiders are formats that it takes quite often. But I've had many colleagues talk about it when it pops up, and it's not necessarily taking on what they view as a monster, not something terrifying. And they actually sat down and meditated on it, and they realized that they found certain features, and they placed those features in the monstrous category of appearance and they didn't actually like when they realized they were doing this because these are features that a human being can have. Whether it's a wart or, a cyst or something like that, or some, drastic skin conditions or whatnot. But they felt pretty crap when they realized that mentally they were putting those things there and they don't want to associate those with people. So they've done some shadow work to get rid of it. And Bifrons also stopped showing up with those appearances. So um, maybe meditate on what you're seeing. You might find something about yourself there. Um, I definitely found that interesting. But for me, luckily, well, I don't know if it's lucky or not. It just kind of shows up as nightmare fuel. Not really one of my favorites to work with, not gonna lie. Um, because of that. Next in the Goetia, the correspondence most often associated with them, rank Earl. Just Earl, unlike the last one, this one don't get two ranks. Most common metals associated with this one. Yes, metals. He gets two metals. Copper and silver. So apparently he placed twice at the Olympics. Just kidding. Um, Planet most associated with him is Mars. Color most associated is red, and the element most associated with him is Earth. All right. Now, why do we reach out to the spirit? Why do we work with the spirit? Those kinds of things. Well, in the Goetia, its original purpose read as lights candles on graves of the dead and changeth dead bodies and put them in another place. He can make a man knowledgeable in astrology, geometry, and other arts and sciences. He can teach the properties of stone and wood. That's what the Goetia says. So pretty jumbled up. And a lot of people's like, why do I care if it's lighting candles? Why do I, that sounds stupid. Yeah, I get that. And honestly, that's dealing with a lot more complexities, and I'll get into that. Let's go through the bullet points here that we do have. Now, the modern things that a lot of people work with this entity and have good success with. Help in communicating, help in communication with recently deceased. I'm getting tongue-tied today, people. This is where the candles come from. We're talking about lighting candles on graves. We're talking about reaching out and connecting with the recently deceased. You light that candle for someone. Lighting candles for the deceased is it's a tradition across multiple religions, multiple practices, goes way, way back. And it is to kind of say a prayer, to say hello, show respect, all these things. And that's kind of what this is tying into here. But it does all, they can help contact recently deceased. Now, these days I use evocation and other methods when talking with loved ones who's passed on. You can easily do that. However, way back in the day before I really got into evocation, I did utilize some sigil meditations in this entity to do the same thing. And one of the things that I got through those meditations was the ability to do trance work and work in my astral sanctum and also invite those deceased into the sanctum to converse with them there. And that quickly became my go-to up until much later where I started working in evocation. So, yeah, I mean, definitely can help in understanding some of the necromantic arts of contacting the recently deceased. Okay. I've never tried long-term deceased. The most I've used this one for is, I want to say it was 10 or 15 years. So that's as far as I've pushed it. And I've not really heard anyone going further back for recently deceased. So I'm not sure. You'll have to try and figure out exactly what recently means. The next one, and this one, honestly, this is one where I know a lot of people and clients have utilized this. It's not one I don't recall using this one on me, and that's actually funny to say it that way because it is aid in memory of a specific event to remember it more clearly. So if there's a specific event for whatever reason you're not remembering it as clearly as you used to, or you're just not remembering what happened clearly, this entity can help you to remember that event more clearly. And that is one I have had a lot of clients struggle with, and they've actually done really good with it. Now, I know a few magicians who've tinkered with adjusting this from recent event to just improved memory overall, and they've had some really great results. So I think, honestly, more than an event, I think just working with this entity to empower you to improve your memory overall is a pretty good way to go in my personal opinion. Next point is help to aid you in making better plans than your competition. Plain straight up, if you got competition, if you're doing something, whatever game plan you're coming up with, whether it's a business plan, whether it's a workout plan, whether it's a training plan for a sprint, training plan for Mr. Universe, whatever the training plan might be, if it's athletic, your plan, this entity can help you make a better plan than the person who's also planning for the same thing. And most people really rarely have use for that in all honesty. But if you ever have use for it, there it is. This is one I honestly never used for myself or for a client. I haven't. I did have a client that was training for a strongman competition. Very, very nice guy. Very nice guy. And he was wanting some help. I brought this up. He didn't want that. He wanted a few other things that were I it was more a mental boost to him. He didn't want anything else. He thought the plan alteration might be unsportsmanlike, which I thought was pretty cool of him in all honesty. Um, and real quick, we'll go ahead and get the sigil up here on the screen. There you go. Um, Bifrons sigil, no problems there. My experience with the spirit. I've had some interesting experience. Like I said, most of my stuff has been through, I used to use this to contact the dead via sigil meditations and the like. Once I did get into evocation, yes, evocation became my favorite way. But at the same time, when I was working through the Goetia via evocation, reaching out to the spirit and talking, getting that connection to other spirits through them, I liked it. It worked well. It worked well. It didn't work as well for me as just straight evocation. But that being said, I also found, and this isn't shared by most people, but this is what I have found personally. This spirit is also really good at teaching respectful necromancy and the ability to commune and work with the dead in many, many varieties of ways, not just communication. So if you're interested in necromancy on a respectful level, perhaps reach out to Bifrons, chat with him, get some ideas. All right. And that's about it for this particular video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, check us out over at workingdragonmystic.com and join our online community. And if you're interested in any of the courses, head on over to the online school. Check them out. See if any of them strike your fancy. And keep an eye out, both in the community and here at the channel. We announce anytime we got workshops coming up. The live workshops are a lot of fun. All right. Till next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye.